If you find yourself in a headlock on the ground, there's a few different options that you can use to get out of this situation. Now, the options that I'm going to show you are going to focus initially on controlling this person's ability to move. If I can limit their movements on the ground, that allows me to move freely and get to the proper angle, it makes it easier for me to get out of these positions. Now, at any point during any of these positions, you can always throw in extra strikes to the face, to the head, pull on the hair, pull on the ears, whatever you can use to get a little bit of an extra edge on your attacker that allows you to get out of these positions safely. And then again, once you're in the clear, get up and get out. We do not want to stay on the ground under any circumstances. So let's jump right into it. So understand that when someone puts you in a headlock, a couple things just to keep in mind are the proper headlocks. You may get a position where a person's literally just kind of sitting here, squeezing your head as much as possible. A lot of times, unless you're a wrestler, you're really not going to see guys controlling this arm too much. A lot of times they're just going to squeeze under the head. If this person is inexperienced, there's a good chance that they're going to have their hips and their legs completely flat on the mat, which in turn takes the pressure off this person's abdomen. Yes, their head may feel like it's about to pop off, but their abdomen does not have any pressure, which again allows this person to move freely. More experienced fighters are going to post on their feet, get those hips off on the mat, and actually crank up on the head a little bit, which means all my weight and pressure is driving down to this person's sternum. So just keep all that stuff in mind, and again, as we go through these techniques, his ability to control those movements is what's going to allow him to get out of these situations. So your first option from here, again, this person's got you in a nice tight headlock. I want to take my back hand, because they're not controlling it, and I'm simply just going to start posting on their neck and their head, and essentially I'm trying to reframe and recompose my body and get to a better dominant position again to where I can start moving him. So as I post on here, my other hand, whether or not I feed it through or on the outside of their arm, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to lock onto my own wrist, and I'm going to use both my hands together to start pushing. The more that he pushes back into me with his head to try and fight this off, that's actually going to allow me to start posting and working my hips out a little bit more. As I work my hips out a little bit more and I continue to push down on his head, my outside leg, I'm actually going to, as I push, come up with that leg and pull his head all the way through. Now from here, I want to maintain control of this arm. I'm not looking to really do anything with this other than just to hold on to it. It's going to keep him from trying to turn out of it. From this position, I want to make sure that I cross my feet. Again, I'm holding on to my arm here, and I'm simply just going to, if I'm looking to get a finish, I'm just going to extend my legs out. From that position, you're simply just going to get a choke on this person. Now, I can sit here and try and finish this person and get him to go to sleep, or I get into this dominant position. He's going to be squirming around a little bit trying to get out of this. Once he calms down, now I can kind of post, work myself up, and we clear that space out. Option number 2 from here. I'm going to post. I'm going to work on this post again. This way it allows my hips and my body to start working away from him. Now from this position, I'm actually going to release. If I want to, I can try and trap the inside of this arm. Otherwise, this hand here is going to start grabbing the face, grabbing the hair. I'm actually going to start, now that I've created space over here, I want to start pulling his head down into that space, which means that as he's holding on to me and I push him down, he's actually going to start pulling my body up. I'm going to use that momentum as I also belly down and work myself back up now into a nice side guard. When we're in this side guard position again, if he's still holding on to, I know we've gone over stuff similar to this in the past, I can merely post off his neck, keep that posture up, I can come up, I can work strikes if I need to. I have wrist locks, goosenecks, arm bars. You have a whole world of restraint techniques I can do from this position. Or again, we just simply use that opportunity to get back up to a standing position and hopefully that the fight ends after that. Option number 3, again, we're coming right back to this initial framing point. I start working my hips out. Now I want to take my bottom hand and start working my hand behind and underneath him. Now from this position, again, knowing that he's going to close the gap and start moving his weight over towards my head, I'm actually going to take my feet, start walking to a north-south position. Now I take my outside hand, I'm just grabbing the chin simply just to kind of get a trap. This is kind of like a handle for me to use as I start pulling myself through. But I'm going to do this all in one motion where I'm going to simply go north-south and essentially just do a barrel roll and go belly down. And as I come belly down, I actually pop out from behind his arm. From this position, I wouldn't really recommend staying down here. I'm simply just going to use that. Again, we clear the space. So when you're in those headlock positions, give one of those 3 techniques a try. Again, they're all kind of a little bit of different experience levels, so find which one works best for you. Practice it. Again, at any point during any of those techniques, your ability to throw strikes, hair grabs, grab the eyes, the cheeks, the nose, the ears, whatever you can get your hands onto, that gives you a little bit of an extra edge over this person, especially if they're a lot bigger and stronger than you. Do what you need to do from there. Get up, get the safety. We'll see you next time.